Hey folks, so this is part two of like a tutorial thing that I'm doing. If you haven't seen part one, I'll like a link in the description. It's basically about like making like a control surface that can just like kind of just trigger crazy effects like effortlessly. And so I've brought up a blank project just to demonstrate how to set this up. And it is a bit of a process, but once you learn this, it's very easy to understand. It's very powerful. I would go as far as saying like, actually, I have nothing to say, but let's just get started. So, in the first video, yeah, I was using the control surface to trigger some really glitchy stuff, and I had it running through Patcher. So, let's just link this. We're just gonna use this drum loop as like something to, it's what we're just gonna affect today. And got these sends here. Let's just use the first one. Let's just call it. Um, uh, just call it percent, whatever. Right, and then so we're going to send this, instead of going into the master, let's right click here and we'll just hit route to this track only. This means that our drums, instead of going into the master track, it's going to go into the send here, and from the send you can see it goes to the master. So yeah, and then like if we have like several different um you know like sounds, then we can the ones that we want to apply these sound effects to, we can put them, route them to our send. So this, I'm curious. So let's hear our little tutorial song. Perfect. This up. Alright, so let's send both of these drums. Check this one. So you got to right click, so you got to make sure you highlight the track that you want to send. Right click the bottom, hit route to this track only. You can see that it's no longer going. So let's look at the yellow one, which is like the synth stabs. Going to the master, and then it's got these things which are going to the synths, but they're not actually turned up. So actually, to make it less confusing, I'm just going to undock these because it's my stupid template. All right, there you go. You can see it better. Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah. So you can see that by default, your projects should be like look like this. I was using a weird template, so it's going to be like. Okay, so you can see this line. Yeah, normally when you like link something to the mixer, it's going to just go straight out to the master, where we've sent these two to our send. And on our send, we're just going to put in a patcher. And we're also going to put in a control surface. So your control surface will probably be blank. I've got mine to open up like this by default. Let's make it blank. So these. So we're going to go back to the control surface. So within Patcher, okay, so we're going to do like glitchy drums. And how do you do glitchy drums? Okay, obviously, like if you have like, plugins that can do glitchy stuff, that's great. But let's try and just stick to like the FL native stuff. By the way, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. So we're going to use a bunch of different growth speeds. So here's a cool trigger. Just right click the device, you hit save preset as, and you can actually hold the button down and drop it, and it just duplicates it. We'll get a couple of these in, and let's put the last one. We're going to call the last one set it to, open up your presets, transgate, and should be, I quite like this one, like Soulgate 2. use that one for now. And we're going to put this at the end, so the gate is going to be like the last one in our chain, I think. Or actually, we might put the reverb at the end. It doesn't matter, like, you know. So we're just going to be like trying to make it so like this patcher is going to, you know, kind of glitchify our drums. So this way, and then so okay. This grow speed, let's set it to momentary. Momentary, I think the reason they call it that is because if you pay attention to like the bottom here, we got like position sync is off and trigger sync is like quarter beat. I think this, compare this to like the old default preset was patterns. Yeah, this is the old default, and the position sync is set to 4 beats. So this means that like before it can go to another pattern, it's waiting for 4 beats. However, momentary, this one here, position sync is off. So it will just like if you change it, it's going to change immediately. Like I'll show you what I mean. So, you can't really hear. I'm going to mute the synth stabs. Yeah. So then, yeah, in comparison to like this one that changes like after, yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out. It's just something interesting. Yeah, you could just swap this. Like if I go turn this off, but then if I swap to look, it goes back. So you have to set it for each individual pattern. As far as I know, yeah. So that's a bit cumbersome. So yeah, let's have this, and okay, so what we can do now is I'm going to add something called let's go peak controller, which is useful because what we can do is set the outputs. That's right. So main output controller, set it to LFO. One handy tip is if you right click, it won't close the menu. So you can, if you want to select several of them, but let's just select LFO and let's pop into here and set to random, and we'll turn the volume up. And now let's right click the speed, because if you right click it, you can see these steps, and it's going to mean that it's synced to your like project tempo, rather than if it if you just turn it, like it's not going to be in time with the tempo. So right clicking here, hitting set, and it allows you to like kind of. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this red dot, and what this does is that allows us to modulate things from inside other devices. So if you go to like inputs, parameters, we can go to like time slot. The time slot is these things. So say we want this to like change randomly all the time. We can link this to the time slot. And so let's bring up the controller, grow speed. And you can see that like when this value changes, it's actually changing which pattern it's going to play. Pretty cool. And so let's actually increase that. I can't remember what I set it to. Let's go to 2-step. Okay, now that's quite fast. 4-step. Yeah, that could be it. 4 is good. And I'm going to do the same for this. And you don't actually have to right click and then hit input and then like, you know, like you can, so like I said earlier, like right clicking them, see like the red dots appear like over here, like when I right click them. And it doesn't close the menu. So yeah, the right click is very useful. You don't actually have to like, you know, those click those things, you can just get the red line and just kind of like, you know, and then it actually brings up the menu. So that's convenient. And then, so we've got these two, they're just changing their patterns. Actually, my might want the other one to change a different, since it's like I've got that position sync for 4 beats. Let's go to formula controller. And so formula controller is just like peak controller, but you know, it has a few things that peak controller can't do. Maths, which I can't do. So let's just open up the presets and we'll have a look. So mouse position is kind of funny because it just like look what happens, right? So like watch this line. When I move my mouse. So like it'll make the parameter change like with mouse movements, which is actually kind of cool. So I keep that and then duplicate it. It's kind of just be disappointing that like when you duplicate the device, it doesn't just like by default have these. I don't know why you wouldn't use this device without. So let's make this one. Actually, so what we can do, like, if you just like right click something and hit link to controller, you can actually get so these bring up like so everyone 2 times larger increment, right? And so it's going to give you like some formulas. I suck at maths, but like yeah, if you you can use these as well. So like all you have to do is to put them into the formula controller is just replace the word input with a. So if we want to use this, we just copy paste this in and then just replace the word input with a. So copy pasted one earlier. So input times 2 a times 2. File. Okay. Yeah, so it's a bit complicated, but basically that's just going to give us the same value of this peak control, but it's going to give us like times 2 times higher. So I was kind of hoping I could do that with the LFO speed, but I just realized it's not working the way I envisioned. Not to worry. Not to worry. Let's see. Toss that aside. Might not even use that. Okay, because this is kind of hanging out at the top here because I put times 2. Sorry, I am totally not like didn't really plan this out. Okay, synchronize randomness. We'll just go with that. See how just see. It's kind of like still hanging around at the top. I might just control. I might just turn the volume. That not fix it, but like, need it to be more random. Okay, cool. So probably gonna sound terrible, but let's hear it. We're getting somewhere. All right, so we have 2 grow speeds, a reverb, and gate, which is also speed, and some controls. So there is parameters in here that you can actually, you're not sure, like if you're unfamiliar with these plugins, what you can do is like, this is the mix for the time mix, the time slot time mix. So what we're going to do is, so see how I just turned it up and down. If you actually go to click this here now. Like if you don't know what's what, you just turn the knob. You can see it has the last tweaked thing, so that always comes in handy. And let's turn on this. We'll turn on parameters, time mix. So you use these mix parameters to kind of like turn those effects off and on. It's like a dry wet, right? And then so we have in the gate, since we're just using the volume envelope, not the time envelope, we're just going to go and select volume mix. Right? So, and then so we have reverb. It's just, oh, you can actually right click them and hit activate too, so that's quite useful. And so we've done that for the dry reverb. Okay, now let's press this surface button. And yes, so this is the control surface. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right click it, and I believe you just hit edit. It doesn't matter actually. And then yeah, so you right click it, and I'm going to get some knobs. Yeah, so just click knob, and then we're going to hit call this press 1, and then just right click it, and just hit duplicate, and then click it, but hold it, and pop it next to it. You should turn the grid on too, because that's going to make it like snap to the grid. So do that again. So we got duplicate. I got 3, so I'm going to call this one. This one gate. Right. So and we're going to go back to mixer, now the control surface. Let's see if this is possible if I just go duplicate. It's not the yeah, so okay. Right click them. I'm going to duplicate it into the other control surface. And the reason we're doing this is because so if you watched, you should have watched the first tutorial, because otherwise you know what we're doing. Because the normal control surface can be you know, more compact, whereas this one we can't actually make it compact. It takes up so much screen real estate. So that's why I make a separate one, just so I can, for the sake of like controlling it. So yeah, we've got those 3 knobs, and that's on our control surface. You can see that we created these knobs. Now we have 3 dots here. So if you ever don't know, it's like shit, it's just a stupid red dot. Where's the control? Just hover your cursor over it, and then look in this little box up here in the top left. So it's volume mix, and then oh yeah, so we're gonna go. So I linked that to the gate. If no worries, if you make a mistake, just deactivate. This has to go to. You can right click it as well. Like this is also another way you can right click it and send this one to gross 1. This one to gross 2. Gate 1 hit. Wait. Oh right, I must have deactivated. So, um, There it is. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to link that up. Okay, so oh, and I forgot to add one for reverb. So let's just do that now. Okay. Yeah, if you don't name them, they're just going to say like knob 1, knob 2. You're just going to end up with a bunch of like miscellaneous knobs and fix that. All right, so oh yeah, and yeah. All right, so now we've got that. Oh, so probably another thing you're gonna need, like just bare bone, like bare essentials, is like we're gonna need like you know like like a low pass and a high pass filter. And so you can have these just like you can control them up here, like how we're doing with the other ones. But however, you could also like say for instance, let's toss in a oh yeah, so this remember this one that's controlled by mouse parameter, mouse position. That could be interesting actually. So let's turn on frequency here and let's link the mouse parameter to that. So let's open up this filter, it's low pass. You can see with my mouse, it's actually controlling the filter frequency. That's kind of funny. So let's keep that. Make it band pass. Why not? So you can have a few of these and just have like either, like I said, you can control surface, or even just like having like a like a peak controller or formula controller, just kind of like automating it for you, so you can just like turn this up, just have like a sine wave, just put like let's see. So, plugged in. And so if we want it to be even more random, we can grab this and modulate by we got some weird loud. I don't know if like having two filters is like working. Maybe it makes yeah, maybe not use that. Yeah, from here onwards, it's basically just like use like just try and like use your try and be creative, right? Like obviously utilizing third-party plugins is going to give you a massive advantage. Um, However, I find that they also tend to create a lot of problems, like particularly if you like like CPU is just going to be like eating shit and just like sometimes a lot of they're just not work. They don't work so well. They're not as reliable as like third party. You can kind of expect it to crash a lot more. So yeah, I know the stock plugins like some of them not very good, but you can rest assured that it's they're gonna you're not gonna. I believe we could even use like the like say like we could grab the P controller and say this parameter. I don't even know what it is, but activate. It's the LFO shape. We can link that to like this. That way it's random. The amount to just like come in right. We can set the amount to. I don't like that square one. It's a shame we can't get rid of it. Just that's pretty weird. Okay, so you get the idea. Like you from here, it's just like it's just try and make it as cool as possible, right? But the final step is so we have these two control surfaces, and I've decided that what I've discovered is if you if you like say there's an effect that is like consuming a lot of CPU, and you can see which ones are doing it like more so than others. Like if say for instance, let's put a bunch in. Yeah, we'll just pop a bunch into there, and then if you go to like view and then plug the performance monitor, like you can see which ones are using up like the most like CPU, and this is very useful. Unfortunately, what you'll notice is like there is when they're in Patcher, you can see it just comes up as Patcher Sense. The effects in Patcher, they don't show up. You'd have to test them outside of it, which is kind of silly. But like what I noticed is if you actually turn the effects off, so look, watch, so, yeah, so OTT is using 2%, but then if I actually just like turn the power off, it uses nothing. And so when you're doing these things, you should put a button in, put a default button, and call it right click it off, and link that to maybe color it red. Like, and then to first let's link these up because we don't want to use this control surface. We want to use the top one. So okay. So this one, control surface on off. Yeah, just right click and then go link to control. And so we're going to do the same for these ones up here. So we're going to you go to right click it and hit activate and hit link to controller. So we go this one, activate, link to controller, two, okay, and then so this is gate, link to controller, reverb, on off. Well, since this, I guess that renders this last one kind of obsolete. So yeah, now you see we turn this one, it's going to turn the one inside the patcher surface. And yeah, so that's like the basics of like how to set it up. Um, so we can keep this up top here. I mean, I could have made it smaller. Yeah, if you want to change the size of all of them, you just like highlight them all, hit size. That may be too small, but it's okay. And you just like have it like that. That actually looks nice. And if you want, like you can, you know, decorate it a bit with like um, a bevel, whatever that is. And color is your favorite. So, Can't change the background. Style, default. Oh, there we go. And color. It's not. Use together nicely. Oh, right, actually. And then just right click where it's, yeah, and then so, yeah, now we have a little control surface, and we should just like trigger. I guess if you wanted to, you could even like have like a get like a peak controller here, and then just like have that like link these up to it. Set this to inverter so it does the opposite. See that? Yeah, okay, that's like the basics of it. What you end up doing with it, it's like basically, you, and it's just limited by your creativity and that alone. So I hope you guys learned something. I didn't just like ramble on and waste your or my time. Um, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put this project, export it, and put it as a like I'll have it linked in the video description if you wanna like open it up and suss it out. Oh wait, I do have those plugins that I. Cool. Yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, like, subscribe, and like, yeah, support the course. See you next time.